Even though 2023 hasn't exactly been the best for LEGO Star Wars, without a doubt there have been some fantastic LEGO Star Wars minifigures released this year, and today I'm just going to be giving my opinion on 10 of the best LEGO Star Wars minifigures that have been released this year. But just before we get into the video guys, if you could do me a huge solid and hit that subscribe button, that will really help the channel out. Okay, so moving on into our list of the top 10 LEGO Star Wars minifigures of 2023, in at 10th place is the 332nd Ahsoka's Clone Trooper, and this is the minifigure that actually is going to come in the Ahsoka's Clone Trooper Battle Pack. And I put him at 10th place because I actually really like a lot of the printing on the minifigure. Don't get me wrong, the helmet hole is a little bit annoying, I think it does look better without it. And the torso and leg printing is essentially exactly the same as we've seen on the 501st Clone Troopers. But what makes this Clone Trooper unique and somewhat special is the fact that it's got printing on the helmet that resembles Ahsoka Tano's colours. And in particular, I really like the pattern on the top of the helmet, I think that looks really neat. Moving up our list now, into 9th place we have the Mandalorian pilot, which featured in the Fang Fighter vs TIE Interceptor set. And I know we have certainly had quite a lot of Mandalorian minifigures over the past few years, but this is certainly up there with one of the best. Don't get me wrong, it is somewhat plain compared to other Mandalorian minifigures such as Din Djarin or Bo-Katan, but I think the colour scheme looks pretty good. When I look at this minifigure, I do kind of think it somewhat resembles Jango Fett. You've got the similar kind of printing on the torso, the silver chest plates, on top of the dark blue torso, and when you remove the Mandalorian helmet and look at his regular face, it comes with what must be the most animated expression I've ever seen on a minifigure, and it looks pretty hilarious. In at 8th place we have Professor Hugh Yang. Now this minifigure hasn't even been released yet, this is actually due to be released on September the 1st along with the Ahsoka Tano's T6 Jedi Shuttle. A LEGO set which arguably has one of the best LEGO minifigure lineups I've seen in quite a while when it comes to LEGO Star Wars sets. Every minifigure in that set looks absolutely quality and Hugh Yang is no exception. I absolutely love the torso printing, but what really makes this LEGO minifigure stand out is that special head mould. It's really cool, it's really unique, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Moving on into 7th place we have Emperor Palpatine. Now maybe not many of you watching this video would have actually put Emperor Palpatine on this list. And to be specific, this version of the Emperor Palpatine actually came in the Throne Room diorama set, released earlier this year, and although that LEGO set was arguably quite lackluster for many LEGO fans, I thought the minifigure selection in it was quite good. And this version of the Emperor I think looks amazing. It's got really good torso printing and leg printing, along with the new style hood mould. But for me, my favourite thing about this Emperor minifigure is quite easily the face printing. They got the colour scheme just right, and somehow the LEGO designers have really managed to make his eyes pop, and they look really menacing. So overall, it's a really decent minifigure. Moving on, into 6th place we've got SABINE WREN. Another LEGO minifigure which actually features in Ahsoka's T6 Jedi Shuttle, releasing later this year. And again, this is another really solid minifigure. In particular, I really like the torso printing, it's got a really Mandalorian feel to it. The face printing along with the colourful hair is pretty unique and is certainly going to make her stand out. But I think this minifigure is definitely going to look at its best when she's wearing her Mandalorian helmet, which is actually an updated version of her old Mandalorian helmet we saw a few years ago, which was released with one of the Rebels sets. So yeah, that's definitely the best version of this minifigure. When she's wearing her helmet, she looks absolutely fantastic, but overall, it's a really decent minifigure. Moving on now, into 5th place, we've got MARROK. Yet again, another LEGO minifigure that came in the Ahsoka's T6 Jedi Shuttle. And although we don't exactly know much about the character MARROK, which is going to be featured in the new Ahsoka's TV show, one thing we do know for sure is that he looks absolutely epic. There really is so much to love about this minifigure. You've got really detailed printing on the legs and the torso, you've got a fantastic looking helmet, along with the Inquisitor style double bladed lightsaber, but what makes this minifigure really stand out from the crowd is that awesome chest and shoulder piece, which gives him a bit of a bulkier look to him, and it really rounds the minifigure out and just makes him look absolutely awesome. Moving on into 4th place, we have Luke Skywalker from the UCS X-Wing. And what is a UCS set without a fantastic minifigure to go alongside the build? And this is certainly one of the better UCS minifigures we've ever gotten. We've had quite a few jumpsuit pilot Lukes over the years, but without a doubt this is easily the best, simply because of the amount of detail the LEGO designers have put into this minifigure. You've got printing just about everywhere it could be, including dual moulded legs and even arm printing, so the LEGO designers went absolutely all out when designing this minifigure, and it really does show. Moving on into third place, we have AHSOKA Tano, and again this minifigure is going to be featured in the AHSOKA's T6 Jedi Shuttle. So if you haven't already noticed, every one of them minifigures features in this list, with AHSOKA getting nearest to the top. And yeah, what can you say about this AHSOKA minifigure other than it looks absolutely fantastic? And it's a real improvement on the AHSOKA Tano minifigure that we had a few years ago that featured in the AAT set and the Duel on Mandalore set. Not that that was a bad minifigure in any sense of the word, but this one takes it to a new level. And again, you've got really good printing on the legs, the torso, and for the first time on any AHSOKA minifigure, we finally got arm printing, so that certainly is fantastic. And then also, the LEGO designers decided to improve her Leku, making it just that little bit smaller so that it doesn't look too big on the minifigure, and also improving the printing on that headpiece. So yeah, you can really see what an upgrade on the AHSOKA minifigure this one is. Moving up our list now, in at second place we have KATAN, which is going to be featured in the new LEGO set, the Spider Tank Droid. And just like the AHSOKA minifigure, I actually really liked the original KATAN minifigure. It was a really good minifigure, but LEGO have managed to improve on that minifigure with this new version. Her new hairpiece is better, her facial printing is better, the torso and leg printing is better, and they've even decided to upgrade her arms with new arm printing, making her look even more detailed than before. And although the LEGO set that this minifigure is going to be coming in a few weeks is very lackluster in my opinion, there's really not much to it, this minifigure is certainly going to be enough to get some people to go out and buy that LEGO set, likely just for this minifigure. So without a doubt, this is one fantastic minifigure. And now moving on to our top spot, in at first place we have the new Boba Fett minifigure, which is going to be featuring in the Boba Fett mech. Now myself, like many other LEGO Star Wars fans, really are not a big fan of the mechs. We never exactly saw them in Star Wars, and it just seems like a real money grab. But one thing I will say is that if LEGO are going to put minifigures in those sets as good as this, then that is really going to help these LEGO mechs sell very well. And I just can't understate how good this Boba Fett minifigure is. I mean, the only thing that it really is lacking is the shoulder cape piece, so you've got to kind of take that into consideration. But if that minifigure did have that shoulder cape piece, well then it's hard to see a minifigure that actually beats this one for the best LEGO Star Wars minifigure of all time. This minifigure really does rival the UCS version of Boba Fett, and if you've seen some of my other videos you'll know just how highly I regard that minifigure. Just about everything on this minifigure is absolutely spot on, it's crazy detailed, it's really accurate, you've got arm printing. What's not to love about this minifigure? And what makes this minifigure even better is that unlike some of the other minifigures on this list, you'll be able to pick this up in a LEGO mech for only £12. So the buy-in price for this minifigure is going to be really low, which is going to allow so many LEGO Star Wars fans to be able to pick this minifigure up. So yeah, there were some great LEGO minifigures on this list, but quite easily Boba Fett takes top spot for me. But anyway guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think are some of the best LEGO Star Wars minifigures released in 2023? Let me know down in the comments. As always guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to stay tuned to the channel as I've got lots more content coming out very soon, and I'll see you on the next one.